All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a pretty radical idea about financial freedom. It's a concept that suggests the system we live in isn't just a random collection of rules. It's actually designed with a very specific goal in mind for you. So we're going to explore how that system is built and, more importantly, how you can build your own way out. So the whole idea kicks off with this, honestly, pretty shocking quote. It paints a picture where financial freedom isn't just a personal goal, it's a closely guarded secret. It's like there's a finish line that this system really, really doesn't want you to cross. And that finish line has a name: Primitive Capital Accumulation. Now, primitive capital accumulation sounds like a mouthful, right? But the idea behind it is actually super simple. It's the moment you have enough money, enough assets that they generate enough income for you to live on. That's it. You're no longer forced to trade your time for a paycheck just to survive. You finally have real freedom, the freedom to choose what you do with your own life. But why? Why would anyone want to stop you from reaching that point? Let's get into the logic behind what our source calls the elite's hidden secret. It really all boils down to this one simple question. For our modern economy to work the way it does, it needs a huge workforce. It needs millions of people showing up to factories, logging into their computers, driving trucks, all of us trading our time to create value that ultimately flows up to the people who own the companies. And that's the core of it, right there. For the machine to keep running, it needs most of us to stay workers. It can't have everyone becoming an owner. So all of its tools, from the ads we see to the way mortgages are structured, are basically designed to keep you on a treadmill, always running but never getting far enough ahead to actually step off. So how exactly does it keep us on that treadmill? Well, this next section breaks it down into what the source calls the three big shackles of capitalism. These are the powerful forces designed to keep you right where you are. Okay, let's look at the first one. This one is probably the sneakiest of them all. See, this shackle isn't a law or a contract you sign. It's the culture we're soaked in every single day. It's this massive, relentless machine of advertising and social media that's constantly telling us what we should want and who we should be. And it does its job by drilling these ideas into our heads, that your success is measured by the car you drive or the logo on your shirt, that you have only got one life, so you better spend every dollar you have on experiences. It makes saving money seem boring and foolish. You end up in this endless cycle of earning just to spend, chasing an image, and in the process, you completely miss your chance to build any real, lasting capital. Now, let's talk about the second shackle. This one kicks in right when you think you're getting ahead. I'm talking about the lifestyle upgrade trap. You know it well. It's that voice that tells you, hey, you worked hard, you deserve this. Every single time you save up a little bit of money, the system is right there dangling a bigger, shinier toy in front of your face. And this just lays it out perfectly. You save up enough for a real emergency fund, but there's that new iPhone calling your name. You save up a serious chunk, maybe enough to start a small business, and suddenly everyone's telling you it's time to buy a new car. And then the big one. You finally have a real nest egg, your potential ticket to freedom, and what happens? You're pushed into a massive 28-year mortgage. With each upgrade, your savings go right back to zero, and you're locked into even bigger debts. You're no longer a saver, you've become what the source calls a high-class debtor. And that brings us to the third and final shackle. This is the one that really pulls back the curtain on the whole design. To get this, we're going to use a classic idea from Robert Kiyosaki, his famous Cashflow Quadrant. It basically shows the 4 different ways people make a living in our economy. So look, most of us start out on the left side, in the E quadrant, as employees. We trade our time for a salary. The system's entire goal using those first 2 shackles is to keep you right there. By making sure you're always spending and always in debt, it prevents you from ever saving up enough capital to make the jump to the right side of the quadrant. That's where the B for business owner and I for investor are. That's where you own a system or where your money itself is working for you. That's where the real freedom is, and you're effectively kept on the left side as the labor that powers the right side. Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak, right? Like a trap with no way out. But it's not. The source doesn't just point out the problem. It gives us a clear 4-step escape plan. And it goes against pretty much everything the system has taught you. And here it is. This is the whole strategy right on one screen. It starts with a totally different way of thinking about saving. You use that saving to buy yourself time, then use that time to learn valuable new skills.
Those skills lead to a massive jump in what you can earn, which finally allows you to save enough to make the big shift.
Let's break that down. Step 1, aggressive saving. But this is the key. It's all about a mindset shift. The system tells you to save up for a thing, like a car or a down payment. This plan tells you to save up to buy something way more valuable, your own time. When you have a little bit of money saved, you have what's called go-to-hell money. You have the freedom to walk away from a bad boss, to say no to a project you hate, or to just take 6 months off to think and figure out your next move.
And that freedom leads directly to step 2. You use that precious time you just bought to invest in yourself. You learn high-value skills that the market is willing to pay a lot for. Instead of just trying to work harder at your current job, you're working smarter by fundamentally increasing your own value. And this is where the magic really happens. Step 3, the productivity leap. After a few years, say 3 to 5 years, of really focusing on learning, your ability to create value doesn't just go up a little bit, it can multiply. The source suggests you can get to a point where 1 hour of your time is as valuable as 30 hours of your old self's time. You've totally changed the math. So here's the payoff. You're basically compressing time. By focusing on upgrading your skills before you upgrade your lifestyle, you can do something incredible. A 7-year plan of intense focus, maybe 5 years of learning and 2 years of saving like crazy with your new higher income can get you to a level of financial freedom that would have taken you 30 years or more on the old path. This is when you can finally complete your accumulation and make that jump to the B or I quadrant.
So, after laying all of this out, we're left with a really powerful choice. It's not about being angry or fighting the system. It's about understanding it. And this shift in thinking is so important. The system isn't some evil, conscious villain. It's just a machine. It operates on a set of rules and logic. It's neutral. The real power isn't in trying to smash the machine, but in getting your hands on the instruction manual. And that's really the question this whole thing leaves us with. Once you understand the rules, you have a choice to make. You can stay as a cog in the machine, getting worn down by the gears year after year. Or you can dedicate yourself to learning how the machine works so you can become one of its operators. The choice, as always, is yours.